Hello everyone, and welcome back to Let's Play Caveman to Cosmos with me, Amphibia Omega and Byzantium. Also, welcome to the last pre-Renaissance episode in our Let's Play. Because when you look at the technologies, in this one, we are going to do the Warrants and Decrees, Parliaments, Tournaments, and the next one is gonna start by us getting a Renaissance lifestyle, or Renaissance. I'm not entirely sure about the pronunciation, but I think Renaissance is correct. And I'm really looking forward to it. I made the final decision that once we get it, the first technology we're going to jump to is printing press, because I want the book publisher, which gives us a lot of education, and the bookstore, plus the printers workshop and other things that we can get, will help us a lot with education. Speaking about education, we have had a lot of growth, and I've spent a lot of time to improve it. So we can now maybe look at the current situation, because that is going to be important for this episode, because I really want to make sure that the education is top notch. Okay, so taking it from the bottom, Constantina and Verinopolis, two of our cities with the small, or the lowest education, not smallest, but the lowest education, or the smallest number in the bracket of education, are growing rapidly. Constantina with a value of 19 every turn, and Verinopolis with 42. So they are growing. The other cities in the lower levels, Nicopolis, Eudoxiopolis, and Rehovot, our conquered city, are also growing. Where we're losing a bit is Otranto and Bazanopolis. Okay, I'll need to check those. Sauropolis, but then again you can see Cephalonia and Maximianopolis are growing rapidly. Nisos, Ioannina, Justinianopolis, there is a lot of growth. How much did we need? That's something that is it 2,500? Or just 2,000? 2,500, okay. So the cutoff is 2,500. We need to prepare for that. We need to improve our education dramatically. So from Ioannina and onwards, we are good. So how many? Okay, you guys are gonna get there. That I can already see. But Kallipolis and all of these cities are going to have a bit of a problem. But, you know, we're working on it. We're working on it. That was one thing that I focused on as much as I could. So hopefully it's going to be seen. Speaking of cities, I mean, we can start with it, because I had quite a lot of time between that episode and this one. The growth is pretty nice. I'm happy to say that we have a lot of cities now in the 20s. We have 3 cities in the 30s, and Constantinople, as you know, is at population 40. And even in the lower amounts, the cities are growing rapidly on their own, which makes me happy. Rehovot is finally out of its rebel phase, and I have to say its culture is doing really good. We're growing our borders rapidly. It already has most of the tiles that it has utilized. We're not utilizing this area, and there are a couple of tiles here. However, nothing can be built on them for one reason or another, which kind of sucks. The culture of the city is actually growing slowly. We are at 2% right now, but hopefully it's gonna get better soon. We have a lot of things scheduled to increase the education here. Mathematics Academy is coming next, library, then ice house to help with the growth, sewer system to help with disease, because disease is rapidly increasing. I think that comes from the population. Then hand water pump, town well, guild hall to help with education, and then squatter camps because we want more growth, and then surveyor's office because I would like to increase the production as well. We've actually had a really interesting situation here with Verinopolis, where we were asked to let them join Egypt. I denied that request, but I'm a bit... I don't understand why they want to join Egypt when the city is newly founded by us. Second, we have a lot of culture here and a wide border, so I don't know why that would be. And C, the culture in the city is Malinese for some reason, and not Byzantine. So why would you want to ask to join Egypt? It's a bit weird, but still. We are upgrading the towns here. We have lobsters and building the fishing boats. We're building, I think it's called a lighthouse, or what's it called? The one built on the coral. Yeah, it's a lighthouse. Okay, so we're building a lighthouse there. Oh, I could just look at you, right? Yeah, create all 46 turns. Oh my god. Well, we're gonna be done. We're already done. Okay, so we have the fishing boats here, and we have another one coming here to utilize the rest of these tiles. As far as other cities go, things are doing sort of fine. We've had a lot of growth, especially in here. Woodgowan is now in population 20, Eudoxiopolis and Saphonia at 16, and even the cities over here are prospering. I actually plan to send a couple more food trains and supply trains to Maximianopolis later on, because the city is sort of suffering, and we should really make it our point to build another city here eventually. But for now, I'm not ready to do it. As far as Verinopolis and Rehovot goes, we've already discussed though, but the growth is nice. Verinopolis is now at population 12, meaning we will forward all of the food trains to Rehovot until we get it to 12 as well, and then we'll grow them. What is very much a point that we should make is that we had a siege and erased a city of Mali over here. It was actually a very hard fight. We haven't lost any units, but many are wounded and they're all retreating to Rehovot. I've actually signed a peace treaty with Mali, which they held for, I don't know, 3 turns, and they immediately declared war on us again. So, whatever. After we recuperate, we're gonna move. There might be a city here. There's a lot of cultural pressure from this area, so we'll send some spies to check, and if we found a Malinese city here, I'm going to raise it, and then we're going to raise Caesarea and Haifa, and once we're done with that, I hope that both of them will leave us alone for at least a bit. They might not, but thankfully there's no attacks on Athens. They're doing, we're securing the perimeter and nobody is really bothering us. I haven't checked in a bit, but we have quite a lot of fights with these units elsewhere. I'm cowing them in this area using my spies and assassins. We've had a lot of skirmishes with random units from Mali and Israel in this area while we were sieging the city, so yeah, it's pretty good. I also wanted to mention, we have these 2 siege golems, and they were very good during the fight. I created them as a battalion, so each one of these is coming from 3 units, and they each got City Raider 3 before they attacked, which was, a test, but it turns out that the plus 50% city attack combined with their natural 50% city attack is really good. So now when they both gained a level from the fighting, I give them Might 1, but I was thinking that we could get them another level of City Raider afterwards, which would be pretty good. Or at least I'm thinking that that would be pretty good. We'll have to see. We will have to see. Now, what I'm planning to do with Mali and Israel, we have already talked about. What I'm going to do now is, once we get warrant and decrease, we're already getting back to the point where some of our cities are turned to research. We've had a slew of technologies in the last episode, so we had to kind of catch up. But we'll get there, we'll get there. So anyway, I think that this is a good point to end the turn, and I'll be back when we get the warrants and decrees.
Kings don't beg, they decree. They have only one destiny, and that's to reign.
Interesting quote. Chris Oyakhilome. I wonder if that is from some book or something. So warrants and decrees give us a very important thing, which is guard, a unit that is an upgrade to the current watchman that we have. And after that, or like apart from that, they also give us guardhouse, which is an upgrade to the previous town patrol building, which gave us minus 20 crime. And now we have, where is it? Turns into guardhouse, where we lowered by minus 25, which would be a huge hit for, well, I mean, it would be a huge hit if we had any crime, but now it's gonna push us even deeper into the negative. Though, I'll admit, we are having a little bit of a problem with the outlook, because let me just deal with this. Nice, guardhouse, 4 turns. Okay, do it. Who else finished food trains? You did. Oh, and you can build also the Master's Dojo. Okay, you finished the Master's Dojo. So build me a guardhouse. Varna Police Council. Okay. Yep. Neosis area has a lot of things to build. Anything interesting here? Ratcatcher. Okay, build the wheel right. That's actually really cheap for you. The candlemaker shop, road signals, and then the coffee shop. Actually, build the coffee shop first. That one is all around good building. A bakery. Okay. An oxen mill. Hasta maker shop. Okay. And what about education? You're doing good. Crime is fine. Disease is fine. But let's, just for good measure, put the Lyceum there. Plus 15 should take care of any need. Okay, so what I was about to say is that our biggest city, Constantinople, right now, you can see that the crime is hovering around the minus 113, which is still in the negative, but it's very close to 0. So having the ability to build the guardhouse here and upgrade our actual units that we have here, which I will show you now. Where are they? Yep, and look how many we have. The patrols, each one of them is lowering crime by minus 8, and if we upgrade them to guards, it's minus 10. So each one of them immediately, so that's minus 5 from the building and minus 10 from just the upgrades to this unit. So it's minus 15. That's gonna, allow us to grow the city even further. Plus, I think that once we get into Renaissance, the new level of education should severely, that lowers crime by minus 15, and right now I think we're getting minus 10. Right, where is it? Medieval lifestyle. Yep, so that's additional minus 5, so we're looking at minus 20 just from this technology and the automatic upgrade to education once we get to Renaissance lifestyle. So minus 20 would put us somewhere to, I think, like minus 350 maybe, which will allow us to grow the city to at least level 45. Maybe. We'll see. Anyway, I think that's enough for this update. I'll get back to waging war, and in 16 turns I'll be back with parliaments, because, well, I mean, that's what we have to get, and it gives us pretty nice buildings. Court Chaplain's Office, of course, King's Council, Chancellor's Court Chaplain, King's Council, of course, Palace. Okay, so in our capital, we can build a King's Council, which increases the maintenance, but it gives extra income in all cities, and allows us to get a bunch of, Marshal's Office, okay. Spymaster's Office and Steward's, nice. Those are some really nice buildings for our capital. Great. Well, looking forward to that. As I said, see you in 16 turns. Turn 5780, year 1106 AD, and we are 1 turn away from parliaments. So what's new? Well, a lot. As far as our cities are concerned, you can see that we have ran in multiple cities out of things to build. We have focused a lot on both the educational buildings where we can, and where we can't, we are alternating between food and supply trains. I'm trying to pull the cities that are on the low end of the table up. You can see that Verinopolis is now at population over 12 and is soon to grow. Rehovot is at 10, soon to grow. But even the cities down here are receiving some help from time to time. I'm focusing on the ones that have the lowest population. At this point, that would be Kallipolis. I always mispronounce it. Kallipolis, Constantina, Chalcedon. And I also sent a couple to Maximianopolis, yes. So the cities are growing and growing and growing. One important thing that I wanted to mention is that we continue with the educational growth strategy. Basically, you could call it a focus on education, and it is proving quite good. Let's do it like this. We have only 4 cities that are currently losing education, 3 that are not gaining any, and the rest is in one way or another growing, with some of the cities even getting more than 20 points per turn. So I'm kind of happy. I think at the last update I showed you which cities were at the cutoff, and the cities down here which are below that cutoff of 2,500 points in education are starting to grow rapidly. All of them actually, with the exception of these 3, are growing. So what is it? Triadica, Theodosiopolis and Dudkovane. But those are also cities that have recently grown, so it's not that bad. So that's for the domestic news. As far as the war news go, we are currently locked in deadly skirmish with Israel. I have sent my army after we fought our way through this area towards Caesarea, but I found out they just recently gained the city Anasazi, so I've sent the knights up north and the knights and the war elephants over here to clear out several units that were lurking in this area, and now I'm gonna send them there. Considering that they have an under rest period, I think they will have no defensive bonuses from the city itself, and it might be possible to quickly erase it. We're also going to lay siege to Caesarea, which is gonna take a couple of turns because they got 270% defensive bonus, but we'll try to take it down. There's also quite a lot of units here which are more or less good, but some of them, like these Balsiv, have power 21, and I think I saw some better units here as well, but I can't see them. Here they are. Barud Warriors 27. So we are starting to encounter units with very high strength. Remember that our best units right now... Yeah, okay, so these guys have 37. Knights have 24. War Elephants 24. But I found that our elephant... what it's called? Mammoth... are they here? Ballista Elephants. Okay, Ballista Elephants have 33.75 and 33.8. Considering these guys got 27 and they're in a defensive tile, they look like a cannon unit. They might get quite a lot of bonus against us. So it seems that Israel is truly getting stronger. They are currently at 4.5 ratio to us. And Mali is at 3.7, so we might encounter a bit more of a resistance, which makes me happy because this has been fairly easy up until now. I wonder what's working even deeper into the territory. But still, if it all goes well and we will clear out these 3 cities, Caesarea, Anasazi and Haifa, then the next city is all the way down here, and that is actually quite far away from us. So then we would move to destroy the city of Tekeda and Nalete, and we would have this huge area for us. Now, we before said that it would be kind of cool to expand the territory of Athens, or Greece, meaning around Athens. So, considering we cannot really pass them any city, it might be just cool to remove some of these cities and give them a space to grow, because that would be kind of nice. I think that Russia actually conquered a city or two somewhere. I saw a notification, but I don't see there are cities anywhere. It's a bit weird. They're building a settler. Okay, they're probably trying to grow, which is really, really, really good. Now, when you look at the foreign advisor, though, we are locked in quite a lot of wars currently, not only with Ben Gurion and Mansa Musa, but also with, this is, I think, Korea, with Salmasina is the Polynesian Empire, Genghis Khan, and Gilgamesh. So, and this is, by the way, after I signed a couple of peace treaties already, so people are starting to jump on us again. Fortunately, not only our score, but our actual power is showing that we are in no real danger. Anyway, let's end the turn and hear it for Parliament so that we can see what it brings to us.
A parliament is nothing less than a big meeting of more or less idle people.
So parliaments give us the bonuses to our capital. After we build the King's Council, which is going to give us an extra 25% maintenance, but also 5% gold in all cities, and allows us to build the other things here. The Chancellor's Office, which gives extra spying. Court Chaplain's Office, which gives culture and science. Marshal's Office, which lowers crime and war unhappiness and gives extra military unit production. Spymaster's Office, which lowers crime and gives a lot of spying. Way better than Chancellor's Office. And Steward's Office, wow, that gives 15% extra production, 10 gold. Okay, but lowers military unit production, but that's fine because it gives you 15% flat bonus for everything, so you actually get a bonus of 5% to military units as well. Nice. So let me just see, that means that we can't really do much here, can we? I'm gonna upgrade you guys. You built an anatomy lab. Jim Cutter, well, I'm not interested in money, we're getting quite a lot. Why don't you build me the confectionery, the pasta maker, and the distillery? And let us check Constantinople and what we get here. Okay, so we can build a torture chamber here, but I'm avoiding that. Look at those malices. For lowered crime and an increased unhealthiness or disease, you get +2 unhappiness, +2 unhealthiness, 26 gold penalty, 32 science penalty, and you get a tiny bit of spying. Yeah, not gonna happen. But what about the King's Council? Okay, so it's gonna give us +5 gold in all cities, but we're gonna have to pay 128 in maintenance. But it will allow us to get what we wanted and what we discussed. And I like that it requires monarchy or feudal to be active. Cool. So anyway, next are the tournaments. So I'll see you in 15 turns when we reach that point. Turn 5796, year 1119 AD. And we are 1/3 away from tournaments. So what's new? Well, I'm going to start by Constantinople. In 44 turns, the city is going to grow to population level 41. I'm hoping that it's going to be 1 million people, but most likely it's just going to be 800,000, but we'll see. But more importantly, we finished the King's Council and a number of buildings, and currently we are working on the Marshal's Office, which is going to give us 4 extra production and lowered crime. Then Spymaster gives us way more spying, Actually, you don't give any. Okay, so way more spying, about the double of what the Chancellor's office gives, and a further reduction in crime. And Chancellor's office is going to give us 6.9 spying. Do you? It's kind of interesting because this one is just a definitely weaker building than the Spymaster's office or any other. I find that interesting. I would expect them all to be equal, but this one is just arguably much, much weaker. When you look around, we still have a bunch of cities on research. Some of them are building food trains, some of them are building supply trains. We've been doing the same thing as within the last update. I mentioned that we were focusing a bit on the southern area. You can see that Constantina is the only city here that's still at population 14, but it's going to grow, I think, even next turn. No, in 2 turns. Maxinianopolis is at population 15. These cities are all now at population 16, with the exception of Chalcedon, which is at 15 and on its way to 16. So we've done quite a lot of work over here. When you look at Verinopolis and Rehovot, they also have more population, 13 and 11 respectively. And I have spent further fortune on improving the education. So you can see here that now, okay, Ludgowen is still a mess, but it's really the only city that's giving me a problem. The rest is just growing rapidly. You can see that it's looking really good, and when we put it, we still have quite a lot of cities below 2,500, but you can see that many of them have now grown for 36, 23, 28, 29, 17, 10, or 20, so Chalcedon is definitely going to go over that. So we have only these cities to worry. And the worst city that we actually have is Constantina with 1,312 and growing at a rapid pace of 7 per turn. So I've done a lot of work in that regard. I'm hoping that it's going to be something that we can take advantage of when we reach Renaissance in the next episode. As far as the war against Israel goes, I'm kind of shocked. We were able to pillage and destroy the city that's over here. I forgot what its name, and also that city that had an unrest over here. But we truly did encounter massive resistance, and Haifa is currently giving us quite a lot of problems. We have a unit here of Barud warriors with a strength of 40.5. There was another one. Okay, so it's just crossbowmen here, 22.5. There's another one with 12 here, but you will see that we have a number of wounded units in this area that are currently healing. Only a bunch of units that are actually healthy, because we keep fighting here like crazy. Every turn I attack and kill a couple of units and have to pull back a number of wounded units back here, where we have the doctors and the veterinarian who are helping heal our units. I kind of lost the monk. I don't know where. I think someone might have killed him, unfortunately. We have some units over here as well, because we got quite a lot of captive civilians from the 2 raised cities and a number of captive military units. So I'm passing them through here into Rehovot, where they are going to help, and also with the constructions in Verinopolis. But you can see even Mali is sending a lot of units here, even though these are not as strong, so they're really not causing us any trouble, but they're just blocking the way. What I'm really afraid of is this unit of Barud warriors. Actually, I can show you, if I send our best unit with 37.11, it has 0% chance to win. Its actual realistic strength ratio is 44.54 versus 101.25, so it's more than double the strength. That's because it has a bonus against archers and mounted, 25 and 50% respectively. It has 15% from tile defense, 10% from unit fortify, and 50 from dunes, which is some kind of ability of the Barud warriors, I guess. So I tried unsuccessfully attacking this unit before. That's why we have so many wounded units here, because we weren't able to break it. But it wasn't exactly this one. There was another one with a strength of, I think it was also 40. We got it to like 34, And then I ran out of steam and it retreated somewhere. I think maybe into the city. Who knows? But yeah, the thing is that this fight is much harder. Whatever we do there is repelled. And of course, with a unit like this, we cannot really siege Haifa. Because if I send my units there, they might attack us and kill some of our units. So we're at a stage of constant skirmish in this area. I'm thinking after the tournaments and after we finish the buildings in Constantinople, not Constantinople, but Constantinople, I might go ahead and try to get someone who I don't know which unit would have a bonus against mounted. What about a skirmisher, for example? But that unit is just against archers. We need someone that has a bonus against melee and animal. Someone against gunpowder. It's not gonna be you. When you're mounted. I could just downright get mailed knights. Grass on attack, desert attack. So you would have a bonus against, and if we raise you as anti-gunpowder unit, it's your ratio 23 versus 101. Well, it's not gonna happen. It's just not gonna happen. But yeah, my worst fears are materializing. They are a bit ahead of us on the technological curve, it seems, and they're using it to build a very strong army. By the way, if I'm not mistaken, this ratio also increased. It was like 4.4 or 4.5. That's 4.7, and that's with me killing dozens of units, you know. It's kind of rough. Anyway, let's hear it for tournaments, and then we're gonna decide what to do next.
Any tournament you go to, you want to win it.
So tournaments give us three things. It gives us the Field of the Cloth of Gold, which is a world wonder. Great meeting arranged between King Henry VIII of England and King Francis I of France. The meeting was held in June 1521 near Calais, France. It was an attempt to broker a lasting peace between the two nations. The name came from the huge amount of cloth of gold used on the tents and costumes of those attending. Okay, it gives us the King's Tournament, which is a national wonder. New melee throwing archers mounted heroic receive experience. And it gives us the Royal Tournament, which is an upgrade to Hippodrome. Gives extra experience to mounted and some other nice things. So you finished that. You can build the Royal Tournament. And here we go. Well, that's all for this turn. Can you build? Yes, you can build. Oh my god, Constantinople can build the Field of Cloth. Plus free relation bonus with all leaders you have met. Oh, that's amazing. That's amazing. And considering that nobody has built that, I might really be the first one who... Wait, that's not it. Might really be the first one that actually got it. Leads to, yeah, Renaissance lifestyle. So, Renaissance lifestyle, the only thing that we actually have to do, and we're gonna do that at the beginning of the next episode. I'm really giddy. I want to be there. We're gonna get a free technology. I'm 100% sure now it's gonna be printing press, because it gives us education, it gives us bonus to culture, it gives extra gold from towns. So I'm pretty sure that's gonna be really what we're gonna go with. 21 turns. So let's end this episode by looking at the statistics. We are, well, reaching slowly 13,600 in crop yields. Manufactured goods are just shy of 23,000, and in gold production climbed over 50,000 to 50,332. We have population of nearly 5 million, 4,876,500. Approval rate is still extremely low, so is life expectancy. Both of these are connected to our unhealthiness and happiness, but yeah, we haven't been doing all that good with these, and we are still bleeding out money when it comes to trade. So yeah, I guess based on that, we can call it quits for this episode, and in the next one, I'll greet you when I reach the Renaissance lifestyle. That's gonna be an end of an era. Like, for real, an end of an era. But a new era is going to start. So join me then for more Caveman to Cosmos with me, Alpha Omega.